Right. Yeah, he hasn't been on social media at all. I mean, he talked to me on the phone, but that was the last time I talked to him. But he told me he's gonna take an extended time, and he right. So I don't know when he's coming back.
Uh,
Yeah, but we'll see. The door's always open. You know how that goes.
right.
So I know we're starting 3 minutes late. Nobody really comes until like 7:45 anyway.
Yep.
They
It's
they
just like
usually they usually come like 15 minutes later. Like, hey,
it's
what's
fun.
up, guys?
It's funny because I know it's like half and half. People are black or white, and they all act black when they want to come in at like 7:45 instead of the starting time at 7:30. What do they call
Right.
it? PC time.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. Ravens Nation is already in the chat, so let's go ahead and get started. This is episode 116 of the First and Framerates podcast. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got these headphones on, the ones I told you that was jacked up that one time when my son, like when I was double hearing myself, my son pulled the capture card out.
Uh huh.
These things are working flawlessly now. I mean, the sound sounds so good in them. So I don't know what it was, but whatever.
All right. Well, Ravens Nation needs to back off. He was like, "That was the dumbest Super Bowl ever." The new age coordinators make football unbearable to watch. Why?
We're
Because the Ravens weren't in it.
No, we're going to get into that because Kyle
Oh
Shanahan's
yeah,
first on the list. Because
you.
I kind of said I wasn't going to do it, but I've seen some comments from certain people, and it just needs to be addressed. Not only just the comments from those people, but you know, the Kyle Shanahan in general, because he wet the bed twice, and there's no reason for him to do that. But like I
I'm
said,
telling
this
you, I had my rant about Bill O'Brien few weeks ago. So yeah,
right. So, like I said, this is the episode 116 of the First and Frame Race podcast. Myself, DJ81, Bills is still on a hiatus. We did have contact with him recently. He's doing fine. I know he just has a lot going on with his primary situation with his music. So, I think he's pretty much focused on that right now. So he's still here, but he's not here. We're going to talk about Kyle Shanahan in Super Bowl 54. We're going to talk about Dan Hauser. A lot of people may not know who he is. I know DJ was kind of floored when I told him about it. Dan Hauser is leaving Rockstar, and if you don't know,
kinda.
and if you don't know who he is, you're going to find out today and why it is a big deal. And we're going to talk about the XFL teams. I finally got a team that I'm going to root for. We're going to talk about that as well. DJ has his team. Our unofficial member, NY Kia, has a team. He put it in the Discord. And that is a good time for you guys to know that we do have a Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't already, you need to join it. I know a lot of people aren't, really looking at us live. A lot of people usually listen to us on the back end when it's up on YouTube as a recording and on iTunes and SoundCloud and Google Play. But join the Discord. That is an excellent place where you can talk to us outside of the podcast. And
He picked the Houston Red Roughnecks.
yeah, he picked the Houston Roughnecks. So
Oh boy.
anybody else who's in the chat, tell us your team on the for the XFL. Who are you going to be rooting for? I'm going to be talking about mine once we get to that topic. DJ, how was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend's been good. The week has been going good. I've been able to focus on something during the day, so it's really been taking my time away from social media, which is good. Like I said, I have already disabled my Facebook account, so I'm less and less on social media these days. But I'm still looking to upload the couple episodes of State of K2. I just haven't gotten around to it. And yeah, it was a good Super Bowl. Well, minus the part I had mentioned I was going to fall asleep, but nonetheless, season's over. XFL this Saturday. DC Defenders, red and white, and we're ready to fight.
You really like that motto, don't you?
No, I like mocking it. It is really something to just because DC's Chocolate City, and
Right.
you got a motto that you can easily have a country accent with.
Oh, okay. I got you.
It's a bad country accent, but
I like the motto though. To be honest with you, Spectacular Pooh already said the NY Guardians. That's who he's rooting for. I think King David picked one too, but he was in the Discord saying he picked the team, but I can't remember which one it was. But nevertheless, let's talk about this Super Bowl. It was a good game. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I really was entertained. Unlike the last few Super Bowls, even when the Eagles played the Patriots, it felt like a lot of back and forth, but it wasn't explosive back and forth. So it wasn't a bad game, but it didn't keep me on the edge of my seat like this one. And we're not even gonna talk about the Super Bowl from last year. That was really that wasn't
That
good
was
at
a
all.
dud.
It really was. And Jared Goff had like so many chances to actually win that game, but Jared Goff blew that game. But let's talk about who really blew this game. Kyle Shanahan did it again after 28-3. He was up 20-10, and they had the ball, and they kind of got away from the run. I think they ran the ball only 2 times in the fourth quarter after the 10-minute mark. But nevertheless, they were down by 3. He runs the ball, gets 5 yards. They was running 7 yards per carry, DJ. At the bare minimum, at least try to run the ball on second down again, because you just got 5. You're averaging 7. Why not do a second down play? I can understand if it was like 2nd and 1. You want to do a play action because play action is really good when it's 2nd and short. That's like the perfect time to do play action. But when it's 2nd and 5 and you're running the ball that well, hit him with the run again. He could have easily ran the ball around the field, got enough time off the clock, possibly got a field goal. And the fact that the fact that their defense had the time to rest, they could have had a chance to stop Pat Mahomes. What they did was they went 3-and-out and gave the momentum to Pat Mahomes, and Pat Mahomes went off in the last 9 minutes of the game. I just don't understand it. They did the same thing in the Super Bowl 51 when you had the team on the ropes. Even, like I said, once again, even if you ran the ball on the 23-yard line and got a field goal out of it, you'd have still been up by 11 with like 8 minutes left or 7 minutes left. That would have been fantastic for the Falcons because the defense would have rested again. You wouldn't have gave any momentum to the Patriots defense, because what happened? You tried to pass the ball, you missed a block, got a sack, got a fumble. You give them momentum. You give the defense that kind of momentum. You basically going to give the whole team, a team like the Patriots, the momentum. And it's kind of like what happened once again with the Chiefs. I think outside of that, I think everything pretty much went as planned. Also, what I said was, if y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, I said if Richard Sherman traveling to the right side of the field, the Chiefs are going to beat them, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, every time when he was on the right side, he got smoked. And I don't understand. They just completely went away from their game plan. Everything was working up until that time when they ran the ball on offense, but defensively they went away from their game plan because, Pat Mahomes was able to move the ball, but the fact that the Chiefs defense was basically exposed and they went off like 17 unanswered against the Chiefs. If they would have kept running, they could have won the game. But Kyle Shanahan did what he did, and you see what happened. What are your thoughts about the game?
Well, I talked about the fact that when San Francisco went up, and they went up by 10, and I was just like, who doesn't see this comeback happening?
Right.
Like, like, it just seemed like, okay, the way the last few champions in different sports leagues, yes, I am taking it outside of football as far as this is concerned. What the story has been, the team has come back from whatever odds to win the championship. You saw what happened in this past Super Bowl with Kansas City coming back from 10 down to win the Super Bowl. The Nationals down 3-2 after losing 3 straight at home, come back, win the next 2. And not only were down 3-2, they were down in the score of each of those games, came back, won the World Series. I even go as far back as 2018 with the Washington Capitals. Technically, they were down 1-0, and they basically swept the Golden Knights. So it seemed like it just adds on to the story of stay in the fight. And as soon as, like I said, as soon as San Francisco went up by 10, I knew it. The comeback run was going to happen. The announcers were going to talk about, well, last week they were down 10 points to the Titans. They stormed right back. They were down 24-0 to the Texans. They stormed right back. It just seems like at any point in the game, if you're up by a significant amount, it wasn't enough, because at a certain point in time in the game, the Chiefs were going to come back and win the game. They weren't going to give up.
No, I totally understand that, because I get it that the Chiefs have that fight in them to continue to keep pushing and wanting to win the game, but they don't do that if their quarterback's on the sideline.
And that's what I'm saying. That's where you're right. The right mixture was in place. You have a Kyle Shanahan who decides to throw the ball late in the games,
and you don't need you got the lead,
right? So. And you said Breida didn't have a carry in that game.
And that's the bullshit. The fastest guy, now between him and Tyreek Hill, they're like undoubtedly two of the fastest men in the NFL. I think Tyreek runs like 22.3 miles per hour, and I think Breida's like 22.4. I mean 23.4. I mean they're like neck and neck. Why this kid did not get a carry is beyond, especially when you're running the ball the way you're running. Breida has the speed that if he ran through those holes that they were getting in the second or third quarter, one of them would have went for a touchdown. He's that fast, because the holes that they ran through was like unbelievable. That 17 or 18-yard run that Tevin Coleman had would have easily could have been a 40-yard run. And I just don't understand it. It's like,
well, the funny thing is when you look at Shanahan with the two quarterbacks that he's had in this position and lost the Super Bowl, one, he's definitely not a game manage type quarterback. He's a big play quarterback. And with Garoppolo, he is a game manager. So it's just like Shanahan's out to prove that his quarterback could, be the difference, when technically it wasn't even the quarterback that made the difference. It was your freaking play calling. It's the play calling that made the difference. And both of them.
And this goes back to what I was saying about the comments that some people put on Twitter, and I just don't understand it. Oh yeah, guys, if you don't mind, hit the like button, please. I don't like asking, but it really does help.
Hit the damn like button.
Yeah, listen to DJ. But
yeah, what I was saying was, hit it myself too.
Because what I was saying was, people are sitting here talking about that Jimmy Garoppolo makes all this money. He should be able to throw the ball. You got to make him do something. Listen. I don't care if my quarterback's making $250 million. There's a ring on the line. We're going to do what we have to do to win this game. I don't care. People talking about, well, he has to be the quarterback to put him in. See, that type of shit that gets you fired if I was the GM. But, I don't have the cachet to be a GM. I'm just a guy behind the microphone. But nevertheless, we're trying to win a ring. And that, look, if they were running 3 yards per carry, if they got 1 yard on second and on that first down play instead of 5, you won't hear nothing from me. Absolutely nothing. The thing about between this and the Super Bowl 51, when the Falcons played, it didn't matter how many yards you got at that point, because you're on the 23-yard line. You can easily go there, run a few plays, maybe lose 1 or 2 yards, and kick a 40-yard field goal and be up by 11. I have no problem with that, but when you're up by 3, you have the ball, and you can easily run the clock down to maybe, let's say, 4 minutes, even though that's still a lot of time. But if you run the ball down to 4 minutes, get a field goal, or even, hell, you run the ball down and get a touchdown, and it's 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, you're up by 10 again, it's pretty much ball game. Because once Pat Mahomes and them score, you can run the ball again. But it's just so simple. I don't care who's making what in that moment of the season. It's the Super Bowl, fourth quarter. What your quarterback's getting paid and what he's trying to do, or what you want him to do because he's getting paid, does not matter at that point. Do you realize the Arizona Diamondbacks? Let's go back to the Arizona Diamondbacks. When they won the World Series or something. Kurt Schilling was a quarterback. Damn, I'm thinking football. Kurt Schilling was the pitcher, and I think they had some other guy was the closer.
I was about to say, because I know Randy Johnson was the other starter.
He was the other starter, but the fact that they wanted to seal that victory, guess who came out and closed that game? Randy Johnson came out to close that game because
Randy Johnson didn't close. Wait a minute, Randy Johnson. I don't think he came out.
I don't think he closed, but he came in the relief.
Yeah, they came in with because it's pretty much the strategy in baseball anyway. You see, the Nationals employed it in Game 7. They came out with let's see, because they started the game with Max Scherzer, and then Corbin came in, pitched 3 perfect relief innings to pretty much shut down the Astros, gave the Nationals enough time to come back. And then they came in with Hudson, shut it down in the 9th.
Right.
You throw your best out there.
Exactly. You do what works for your team. It doesn't matter how much who's getting paid what at the moment. You're trying to win a ring. I don't care anything about he's getting paid this. Now I will admit we're talking about the regular season. Maybe even if you're talking about the playoffs, you got an argument. But at that moment. No, I don't care who gets paid what. We're trying to win this ball game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that just easily saying I want to look good and lose than look bad and win. That's the perfect analogy to what people were trying to tell me on Twitter. I want to look good and lose instead of look bad and win. And that doesn't fly. I don't care.
Yeah, look at the last few coaches that have tried to pass the ball, make their quarterbacks the hero, and they wind up being the goat, like the bad goat, not the good one, the bad goat.
Right.
Russell Wilson throw an interception right there on the goal line when they could have possily.
Thank you. That's another example.
On top of that, they had a timeout. So it's just like, look, if you run the ball and get stuffed, then you can call a timeout. You have another play, but no, you want to make Russell Wilson the hero instead of beast mode. Perfect. Got example. You down the field in the first place. Example. You handed the ball to him
at the 1.
4 out of the but I'm saying to get down there, they hand the ball off to him like 4 out of 5 plays.
Yeah, because they had that one. Yeah, because they had that one big play that went to the guy that used to work at Foot Locker. I can't remember his name, but they had that one big play, but everything else was a run play, and it got him down to the 1, and then they decided to try to throw a slant.
And the thing is, it's like. You could have ran Marshawn off the edge. You didn't have to run him up the middle because that's where the Patriots were stacked. But for some reason, the Patriots DBs were expecting something to come out of that last play, and they were right.
I don't think there was necessarily it looked like they was anticipating the pass. I don't think they were necessarily anticipating one. I just think that once they realized that the quarterback was not handing the ball off and the receiver wasn't trying to block them, all they did was just cut off whatever lane that they had.
Well, no, they talked beforehand. It was like, if this dude crosses, you jump. That's been noted. So
that's what I mean.
Like, if a pass was coming and they crossed, you stay there, you jump. I stay there, cover the guy, goes outside. Yeah,
right. I mean, I think you said
what they talked about.
Right, you said the same thing, but in shorter words. I think we were pretty much saying the same thing. You're right. Like when they realized that they weren't blocking, they're just going to jump because on a run play, everybody's going to put a hat on a hat. And when that didn't happen, Malcolm Butler knew exactly what to do. It just so happened that I don't even think he really even caught the ball. It looked like he jumped it so well, Russell Wilson threw the ball to his chest. That's how good it looked.
Pretty much.
So it's like another case in point. We can talk about basketball for a second. What did the Houston Rockets do in that game 7 against the Golden State Warriors? They didn't have to jack up that many threes. They could have just slowed. They could have just slowed the game down. It was already winning. But they
just kept jacking up shots, jacking up threes.
Listen, I don't care. What you're trying to secure the win, and if you're trying to secure that win, you have to do what works, not do what your identity tells you. Sometimes you have to get away from that. Look, perfect example, another good one. Look what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did that year when they won. They had a game manager, obviously, but Mike Allstott, they fed him the ball when they rarely did that all season. But they fed him the ball because they know, like, look, We're going to run this clock down. Nobody don't want to tackle this guy. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
wear down the defense. And I think they averaged like 2.4, 2.5 yards a carry, but it wore down the defense throughout the playoffs, and they won a Super Bowl that way. They didn't
And
do
then,
that. They didn't do that all season.
and then one other example would be, the Tennessee Titans going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, they had 8, 9 people in the box, but when your running back is rushing the way he's been rushing in the playoffs, you got to stick to him. You can't go away
Another
from him and expect Tannehill to get you out of the game because
and,
you're trying to outsmart the other team.
and DJ, did we not just have a debate about this a few weeks ago about what the Kansas City Chiefs did against Derrick Henry? They played out of their element, but they played what worked. That's not their MO to put 9, 8 in the box,
Yep.
but they knew what they had to do to win.
And that's what I said was that's what I thought was going to happen, because it was just like, yeah, everyone shits on the Chiefs defense. I'm like, they individually collectively didn't have enough talent to be a good defense, but they had to schematically change something, and their mentality had to be different.
I don't care how much you paying Tyrann Mathieu or Terrell Suggs or whatever. Yeah, they're good as individuals, but right now we're gonna stack this box because we're trying to go to the Super Bowl, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're trying to win a ring, so they had to adjust. I don't see why people could defend what Kyle Shanahan did. I just don't get it. If you're talking about if you're talking about the regular season, I get it. He's getting paid $140 million. He should be able to sling that ball around in the regular season. That's what you're paying him to do. Playoffs, I kind of with you 50-50. But in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, no. We're going to do what works at this time. You're still making your money. We're going to get the Lombardi trophy, and we're going to be good. You can be mad and pout all you want that you didn't get the MVP or you didn't get to sling that ball. We're sitting here trying to win a ring. You can fall back for all I care.
And you know the other sad part? The announcers were even questioning whether he trusted Garoppolo in the first place.
And that's okay. That's okay.
But the thing was, it was just like, is he, again, going back to Shanahan feels like he has something to prove. And I think that also played into his ears. Like, do you really, can you like leave no doubt in the field that you trust your quarterback? Yeah, I can try. No, I'm gonna call these plays, and this
would have been a perfect answer for that. I trust my quarterback wholeheartedly, but at that moment, we knew what we can do to keep the other quarterback on the sideline, and that's what we're doing.
But that's not Shanahan.
I know it's not, but I'm just saying. I know it's not him.
You're right. That's the perfect answer.
That's the perfect answer. I mean, like, look, there comes a time when you're trying to win a football game. And when even though, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking nothing away from Garoppolo. I'm not, because he had the talent, and you look at his numbers, I've seen him put up numbers. But at that moment, you have running backs that are gashing this defense. Use them. Now, and it made it worse, DJ. I can see if he tried to pass the ball on first down, I'll be like, okay, all right, I see what you're trying to do. I don't agree with it, but I see what you're trying. The first play, when they got the ball, they ran for 5 yards, DJ. They knew they could have got him. They could have had him with the run game. That's what make it worse, because we got evidence, not only what happened with 28-3, we have evidence to see that, look, you're making yards against them. Why go away from that?
Because they were running left, they were running right. It was like a lot of horizontal runs, and then they would gash them maybe off tackle every now and then, but they were getting yards. And it was just like you got everybody involved in the run except for Breida. And
the middle of the first quarter up until the first part of the fourth quarter, they were doing good with the run game. Like, I think it was a stat up like after, let me see if I can pull it up on Twitter so we can see it. I was saying, like, after the 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, he only ran the ball twice. Here it is right here. Oh, that's so small. Come on, let me see if I can get that bigger. All right, let's see. Come on. All right. Oh, I can't get it bigger than that. That sucks. I'm gonna put it up here anyway. Y'all guys just gonna have to squint your eyes a bit. All right. I mean, this is like, I don't want to do that. This makes no sense. So people who are watching us, I'm pretty sure y'all can see that, right?
Oh, I'm sure they should be able to see that.
All right, it says it right here. Look, I'm gonna put the cursor on it. Look at this. Super Bowl 51, he was outscored 25-0. Time of possession. See, look, this is another thing. Time of possession difference was so small. They ran 4 rushing plays then.
They ran less when he was on San Francisco.
That's what makes it. That's what makes it worse. Look, when you outscored 21-0 in the fourth quarter, and this look, it said inside 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, you ran the ball 2 times, and the last time you ran the ball, it was second. You got 5 yards. I don't understand. And then this time of possession this is in a negative. That means the other team had the ball more than you. The way you were running the ball, you could have easily been on the plus side of that. So for people sitting there just want to try to blame Garoppolo, no, listen. You have to run the plays that they tell you to play. I don't care what nobody say. I know Stephen A said this, like Matt Ryan had the clout to change the play. No, it doesn't work like that with every team. You have to run the play. Yeah, I get it. It sounds good, but offensive coordinators ain't going to that's basically your boss. You're not going to undermine your boss. I don't care what it looks like. It's just not going to do that. But nevertheless, it's like the proof is in the pudding. I don't have much else to say. You want to add something? I'm gonna get to the comments.
Yeah. All I know is that if Kyle Shanahan had been a little bit like his father, they would have won that game. Because Mike, when Denver got Terrell Davis, they was like, oh, we don't have to be pass happy anymore. And he had this run system that he was just like, I'm going to run the ball down their throats. And
and Kubiak, that zone blocking was amazing. I mean, they made Mike Anderson look good. Mm-hmm. They made Terrell Davis look good.
Clinton
Portis. What was the other guy? Tatum Bell. They had
everybody.
They had guys looking really good. Hell, they even had Maurice Clarett looking good at one point.
Shoot, and then when Shanahan, when both of them were in Washington, it was Alfred Morris. I think before that, I'm trying to figure out who else was there. But every running back, they
were successful.
Right. I'm like, shoot. If they would have ran the ball a little bit more, RG3 in his rookie year, he would have had 1,000 yards. And they did, and they co-opted the whole read option. So,
you know what? First, I'm Orlandis Gary, another one.
Yes, that was another Orlandis Gary,
another one. And then DJ 313 Detroit, you're absolutely wrong. I'm gonna put your comment up. Stephen A was not right. It has been notified by Orlando D. Ledbetter, the columnist in Atlanta, saying that they did not have the power because he got that straight out of the horse's mouth from Kyle Shanahan and Dan Quinn, saying that he did not have the power to change the plays. Trust me, I'm an Atlanta Falcon fan. I followed them. I know this. Go check D. Orlando Ledbetter on that. Also, Carl Duke said the same thing. Who was there before?
Because there's not a lot of quarterbacks that it's
that
not,
power.
And it's not even about the clout. It's what's the system predicated on.
It's only 2 quarterbacks I know that had that power. It was Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Drew Brees don't even have that power. That just goes to show you what Drew is the only 2 I've known. I've known Peyton Manning to do it, and I've known Tom Brady to do it. I've never heard of any other quarterback that could just change a play like that. Why? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm like, if here's the thing. If anything else, they have the power of the 2 plays that they're probably given, the 2 options that they're given. But where are the options coming from? The coach. Right. So.
Trust me. I'm not even gonna put that comment up, but trust me, if he would have done it, what would have happened to him? Trust me, they would have done something. I mean, you don't undermine, especially if the play went wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree with you. He should have changed the play. I agree, but we just know what protocols in place. Now,
I'll bring up something from the past, and this cost the Redskins pretty much the Super Bowl against the Raiders back in the day. Going into halftime. If Joe Theismann would have followed the play call that was on the field instead of going rogue, we would have gone in. That pick 6 wouldn't have never happened. Joe Gibbs, to this day, would say that if Joe Theismann hadn't been a bonehead, we wouldn't have had momentum
But
lost.
this is another thing, DJ.
Hmm.
Even if they already have a plan in place to not change plays at the line, what Matt Ryan's going to say to change the play? Like he's going to call the play and everybody's going to look around like, what are you doing? We don't have that in place. The receivers and the running back and be like, what the hell are you calling?
Yeah, because a lot of the plays that are called are actually locked in with maybe internal options, but you don't get like a wholesale audible
Right.
like you would in a Madden game or even games in the past. Like you had teams that you would see wholesale audibles and they would be able to make their changes because that's what offenses were doing. Now, with offenses of today, the options are internal to the play that's being called. Like you have
They're more.
RPO that gives you run or pass option, and that's pretty much the extent of
It's
what most quarterbacks have these days.
right. It's more like a formation style change instead of like changing everything around.
Right.
You
And
know.
like you hear all those kill calls, and then you'll see like maybe a Larry call. They won't say Larry, but they'll say something to indicate, hey, we're switching a side, or we're calling a hot route, but they're not changing the whole play.
Right, they're not changing a pass from a run. Like I said, the only ones I know who do that was Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. I've never seen any other quarterback do that. Like like I said, I haven't seen Phillip Rivers. I haven't even seen him do it. I'm gonna be honest with you. We can talk all over. Pat Mahomes don't even do that. It's just some offenses just not they're not linked to doing that. Maybe if it maybe another maybe Russell Wilson has that power. Maybe. And I'm just guessing because they know the type of quarterback he is and he has a run for his life. So he may have that clout to do that. But some offenses aren't like that. Let's see. Let's look at some okay. Optimus Scoop said NFL needs their next big coach and Shanahan is on the way. I'm not taking nothing away from Shanahan being a head coach. I think he's a good head coach. He just needs to learn to not make these type of moves in certain games. He's a phenomenal coach. I don't think he coaches bad at all.
To me, it just seems like in those moments he needs to get out of his own way.
Right.
He gets out of his own way, he has a Super Bowl, or possibly two of them.
Yeah, trust me. I firmly believe, and I'm not saying this as a Falcons fan, I know for certain, after that Julio Jones catch, if that turned into, because that catch was phenomenal. That catch basically, that kind of demoralized them because I think it was like a 3rd and 11 or something like that. It was a phenomenal catch. If they would have got some points off of that, that would have changed the tide of that game. And yeah, Brady would have probably got a touchdown, but you're down by 11.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about a whole different ball game instead of, kicking and don't let it be them running the ball and they get a touchdown. This really game over. So I definitely believe that they would have got the Super Bowl on that one. Now this one, they might not have won because it still was like 6 minutes left and it was a closer game. But they could have been on their way. I think the probability was like 90-something%. So it would have been a little bit easier. The only reason why I would say no, because of the defense were just letting Pat Mahomes get a lot of shit. They really were. And they weren't playing the defense like they're supposed to. So definitely the first one. The second one, I don't know. Optimus Goop also say McVay wet the bed last year in the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna put that on McVay. I'm not. I think Jared Goff. Jared Goff had like 3 chances to throw a touchdown pass, and he
hold up. But remember, they were also dealing. I don't know what was going on with damn. What's the running back's name? I'm like forgetting.
Oh, Todd Gurley.
Yeah, with Todd Gurley with his knee, like they kept that. It was like the underlying story was what was going on that they weren't calling these plays. They weren't calling these run plays. They weren't even using them in the passing game. He was just like, they had to go to CJ Anderson. But by then he couldn't even do anything.
But it was still a close game. It was like 10-3 and Jared Goff threw that interception. It was a very terrible throw. I mean, he had the receiver had Stephon Gilmore beat. It was just a bad throw. I mean, Jared Goff just did not play a good game in the long run. And I'm not going to put it on McVay because McVay didn't call bad plays. Jared Goff just couldn't execute. Now, you flip that against when they played against the Saints in the NFC Championship game. Jared Goff looked like he was on fire. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what happened? So yeah, McVay, you can give him some blame, but Jared Goff was really the one that was just terrible.
Mm.
Um, let's see. I don't see any other. I don't see any other one I can see. I guess we can close that one out. Any last words?
Get out of your own way, and you would have had a Super Bowl by now.
At least one.
Mm-hmm.
At least one, because I mean, as a Falcon fan, speaking as a Falcon fan, that one hurt because we saw how it happened, and it happened so gradually and so slow, and we always just looking like we could have been up by 11 instead of being down by 3 all of a sudden. I mean, yeah, we could have been up by 11 instead of them tying the game all of a sudden. I just don't understand it.
Mm.
Let's jump to the next topic. Rockstar co-founder Dan Houser. I know everybody here played Grand Theft Auto, right? Everybody
Yep.
know. They may have looked at the credits and looked at Dan Houser's name. Les Benzies is another guy that really put this thing together called Grand Theft Auto. Also, Bully. What's the Red Dead Redemption? Uh, he's leaving in March. And he's leaving Rockstar in March after taking an extended break. I think he was worn out after the release of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
So he took a break and also he helped put out the Max. Oh, he was the lead writing of Red Dead Redemption, Bully, and Max Payne 3. Okay. Max Payne 3 is a really great game. He he basically helped put everything together and turned Rockstar Games into probably like one of the biggest studios, if not the number one studio in all in gaming. Because once they drop a game, everything stops. No other game wants to come out around that same time. The game sells like crazy. Even with Red Dead Redemption 2, its slight issues, it did phenomenal. We're not even going to talk about Grand Theft Auto. Is almost like a gamer's national holiday when that game comes out. Max Payne 1, 2, and 3 was really good. Max Payne 3 was really, really good. And then it's just that I don't know what this means for Rockstar, but maybe they'll continue to push on to make great games. But this is one half of a great, creative mind that put all these games together. So I don't know what's going to happen. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm like, first of all, I didn't pay attention to the credits. I didn't even know who Dan Houser was, honestly. So you can put exposed, you can put L's in the chat. But I loved all the Grand Theft Auto games, Red Dead Redemption games. Max Payne 3 was great, and this was this man's passion. So he has a lot of writing credits to these games. So it's a big loss. I mean, his brother Sam is still going to be. His role is still as the company president. That role hasn't changed. So his brother is still going to be there. But Dan, they founded Rockstar together in 1998. So it's a big loss. I'm gonna see how his brother holds out. I don't know. I'm like, his brother could follow suit, or he could just hang in there just to keep the brand going. But it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be the same.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a slightly different. We may see a slight fall off, but hell, a slight fall off for Rockstar Games is still better than a lot of these games out here.
Oh God,
you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a big loss because you really want to continue to see them go higher and higher and get better and better. You really want to see them do something phenomenal every time a game drops. But when you lose half of what made Rockstar, I ain't gonna say. Well, you can say half what made Rockstar and a third of what made the writing and the gameplay and all the creativity there. It's going to be a little different with him not being there because it was him, Sam, and Les Benzies. Like there's another guy nobody really knows about. I think Les is still there, but nevertheless, it's going to be a loss. But I mean, like I just said, if they a half-assed Rockstar game is better than maybe 75% of the games out now.
Yeah, because I played Grand Theft Auto when it was originally on PC. Playing the top-down view, that was some crazy times. I was like, "What the hell is this game?" And I'm sitting there running over people. You hear the
right,
because there was no voices.
No, it was just mumbling. Yeah. 'Cause I remember playing Grand Theft Auto 2 on Dreamcast, and I
Remember
was like,
the London edition?
yeah, 1969, yeah,
It was like dun, 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 dun. It kind of like there was a track that played in Austin Powers, the Spy Who Shagged Me. That was
right.
the
That was the
theme right
theme.
there.
Yeah, because a lot of people started playing, Rockstar games once Grand Theft Auto 3 hit. That was the game that really put them on the map because
Yeah,
the
that was.
top, the top down Grand Theft Auto finally went full 3D. Now you can
Mhm.
still play that top down version in Grand Theft Auto 3. They still have that. They still have that camera you can play, but once they went down to the ground and it was 3D and it was like a whole living world, I mean that you talk about one of the reasons why the PlayStation 2 sold a lot of units. Don't get me wrong. You had your
Mhm.
God of Wars, you had the Twisted Metals, but in 2001, when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out and it was at that time it was exclusive to the PlayStation 2, everybody wanted to get it then. I mean, it was just so many factors that made the PS2 popular, but trust me, that boosted a lot.
Yeah, and then when they found out you could bang hookers in the game, yeah, that it really took off after that. So
Right.
that was. I don't think there's any other game that you can that put that type of feature in the game and was able to get away with it through the. I think ever since Grand Theft Auto 3, get away with it. Well, I don't think.
San Andreas had the hot coffee, and that took it way much a step further if
Well,
you
that's
wanted.
yeah, because they literally had the function in the game and then they dropped it at the last second. But modders were able to uncover it.
Yeah, if you have, I will tell you this: if you have the early version of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and I'm talking, I think it's the early. I want to say it's the blue disc version, but I'm not. I don't think it's the blue disc version, but
Hmm.
it's like the early copies. The hot coffee mod, or not mod, but just hot coffee is in the game. They took it out after that version of the game was sold in Walmart,
Hmm.
and parents went back to Walmart like, "What the fuck, y'all?" And Walmart was like, "Oh no, we can't have this." And they went and they changed it after that. But I mean, not to mention, you had Vice City come around, like Optimus Goop was putting in the chat. Vice
Hmm.
City was amazing as well. I really think they need to go back to that at some point. And San Andreas is my favorite one out of all of them. San Andreas was the game, and I can always go back to that game and play it and have a great time.
Yeah, San Andreas had that because the other staple of the game was the radio stations. That
Oh
I'm like, you
yeah,
want to talk about bringing a game to life with the living worlds? Sorry, EA, and with the radio channels and stuff like that. San Andreas, I felt like had a perfect soundtrack with the radio stations. You can't beat that.
no, no, you can't. I mean, and not only with San Andreas, they didn't have just radios. I think they had
They had infomercials. They
they
had a
not
political talk show, but
yeah, they had a little bit, and I think I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. They didn't have a radio station for each city, did they? Because they had three cities in San Andreas, but I think
no,
it was just
they.
it was one for the whole state.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. Because I don't know why I was thinking that they had one for San Francisco or San Fierro and one for
Yeah,
Las Venturas.
they just what they had the different stations and they had different types of stations. Like
They
you
had
had
different
your
types for
like
the
your
cities, but they didn't have a
right.
whole different. They didn't have a whole different radio station for each city. They just had different stations for each city, like one for
It
each one.
basically matched the demographics that were in the games.
Right
So
there, you
you
go.
had
There you
like
go.
your
Because
Hispanic channel, like you not they were talking Spanish, but you seen like artists that were
the
Hispanic
Latin,
descent.
they had the they
Yeah,
had the Latin ones, and then they had the country ones for the outskirts, and
but then they had hip hop and R&B. So because main characters were African American, you're talking about LA around that area, you're talking about
right.
gang violence and stuff like that. So you had your rap radio station for the gangster rap, and then you had your CSR because you talking about this was in the '90s. That's when R&B was king.
New Jack Swing and all that.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, these guys were flat out. They're flat out geniuses. The guys here that are at Rockstar. Not only
Hmm.
with the Grand Theft Auto series, you see what they did with Red Dead Redemption. See what they did with Bully, Max Payne 3. Let's not even talk about they can even get into sports too. They did table tennis as well. And table tennis was pretty good. And not only that, they took what 2K did in Top Spin, put it in Grand Theft Auto 5, and made a phenomenal. They made a phenomenal
Yep.
tennis game in Grand Theft Auto 5, which is just
Hmm.
as good.
And then to this day, I swear, I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is still in the top 10 in sales, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the game has been out since 2013, 7 years later, and it's just phenomenal what they're doing with that series.
And
I
I don't
mean,
think you can beat their online component in Grand Theft Auto 5 because they keep putting out stuff.
that's another thing. I was about to say that's another thing that the online is just amazing as well. I don't know. It's just something that
Gonna make me jump back on the online portion of that game, start like doing whatever.
that you
Like
better
you
be
can,
you better be careful because them guys online now are just they're just world beaters right now. They
well,
got their
yeah,
shit
because they're
set up
like 1,000 rank
right, and they got
level. I'm like at 5.
yeah. I think I'm like at 21 or something like
Like
that.
they're master heist robbers and stuff like that, and I'm
Yeah, if you
just like
go on there,
a lone thug.
yeah, if you go there, you better make friends with them and try to level up quick. But yeah, on PC it's just phenomenal. I think they got banned for it, but they even created a whole Liberty City from Grand Theft Auto 4 in the game, and they got banned for it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it I think it's one of the best games ever created. I highly recommend getting it in your collection, even if you're not a collector. Get that game because um, there are rumors of Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out, but as of right now, I don't see anything topping that game as far as the open world sandbox game. It's just phenomenal. Um,
All right, so with that being said, here we are. The moment that everyone's been waiting for.
First of all, before we get there, people we're going to talk about what teams we're going to pick for the XFL, and I'm gonna put this up on the screen because I was already ready for this, and I need to I need to let y'all know. I mean, I want you guys to let us know what team you're deciding to root for. Is these all 8 teams? No, DC. There's 7 of them. No, that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. I only see 7. Oh, there's the Dallas Renegades. There we go. There we go. Let me see if I can. There we go. We can get all 8 in there. Yeah, there we go. Got all 8 in there. Let us know what teams you're going to pick, and I'm gonna let you know what I'm going to pick. I know Pooh already said he's going the NY Guardians, New York Guardians. King David, I can't remember what you said. NY Kia said the Houston Roughnecks. DJ, you always know he's going with the DC Defenders.
Yep. Damn Marvel heroes.
So if you have a team, go ahead. I'm gonna let you know what team I'm going to pick. I figured out what team I picked last night. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about these schedules, and we're going to actually look at some of these teams. And King David already said he's picking up the Guardians as well. He put it in the Discord.
Oh, so you got 2 Guardians.
So we got 2 Guardians. We got 1 DC Defender. We got 1 Houston Roughneck, and nobody else is actually putting up a team. I guess they haven't been following it. That's fine. But we're going to cover the XFL. That's what we're going to
Wait. Hold up. Quaface, you're a Redskins fan. What are you going with Dallas for?
Oh, wow. He did pick the Dallas. Quayface picked Dallas.
Wow, you are.
Hey, you know what? A lot of people are picking the Dallas to win the championship, though. They really are.
Man, fuck the Renegades. Yeah, we're carrying this beef from the NFL to the XFL. Fuck Dallas.
All right. I'm going to let you know what team I'm going to pick. Anybody know who Nick Fitzgerald is? Yes? No? Well, he's a quarterback. He's from my area in Savannah, Georgia. I'm from Savannah, Georgia. Tadal says he's taking the LA team, so he's picking the LA Wildcats. Tadal, you're from California, right? I think he is from California. But a lot of, Nick Fitzgerald is from my area. I think he went to a high school like a county over from me. He's a big quarterback star in the area. He did have time in the NFL. He did play at Ole Miss. He's like 6'5", 240. And he's also a very mobile quarterback. And his team also has pretty good running backs as well. And we're going to talk about them. I am picking the St. Louis Battlehawks. That's the team that I'm picking to root for.
I hope they finished in last place, but
shut up. And
actually,
I like what
Dallas will finish in last place, but we're just.
I'm picking the St. Louis Battlehawks. I like who they have. Their wide receiver coach is Oz Akeem, and I like the running. I like the passing game. There's Nick Fitzgerald right there. He played at Mississippi State. Like I say, he's a local guy from us for us here in the lower part of Georgia. Been following him ever since he was in high school. I do like the running game that they have. Let's see, what's the running back? Not Leonard Tilley. Matt Jones is their running back, so
Oh
I like
God,
that.
he's gonna be fumbling the ball a lot.
Shut up.
I'm telling you, man,
I like
Mr.
I,
Fumbles.
I like Will Hill at safety. I like him as well.
Shoot, we got Matt Elam. He's better.
What's the other? And they got Christine Michael from Texas A&M. So I like the running game, and I like the quarterback, and I also like the fact that Oz Akeem is their wide receiver coach, and they have some pretty good. They have some big receivers. For one, they have LaDamian Washington, 6'4", 216 from Missouri. They also have another one, Carlton Dosky, I guess that's how you say that. He's 6'6". Yeah, he's 6'6" out of Rutgers, 220. And like I said, big physical quarterback, 6'5", 227. I've looked at a little bit of the defense as well. So this is the team that I'm rocking with.
Wait a minute, hold up. Scroll back up.
Okay, what I'm looking at.
This guy Jones, this DB from Finlay. That's a college. That's kind of weird.
That's kind of weird. Maybe it's
Harold.
a division.
His name is Harold.
Maybe a Division 3 or something. I don't know.
Finlay.
But Will Hill is a safety. Dexter McCall, 6'4", 224. They got some big physical guys on this team. And like I said, the quarterback kind of got me in to wanting this team to succeed. And I like the fact he's a local guy. I know what's his name? Aaron Murray, the quarterback from Georgia. He's down there in Tampa Bay. And I'm not really feeling him because they even got him on third string. So Jake Campos is playing for them. I didn't know that. Okay. West Saxton. I mean, I said that backwards. So I like what they have here. So I'm rooting for the St. Louis Battlehawks, and that's the team that I'm picking. King David said he was considering DC, but I'm not impartial to those uniforms. I like the Guardians unis, and there are quite a few names I recognize and why. See, I kind of recognize some games, some teams from St. Louis. So, with that being said, let's go back. I want to look at the scheduling. Here's the schedule. Seattle is playing DC on ABC on Saturday.
Yep.
LA playing.
That game is going to be at Audi Field. So if you've watched the MLS game, that's where the games are going to be held. It's going to be glorious.
LA's playing Houston. So Tadal, your team is playing NY Kia's team.
That's going to be funny.
Yeah. Tampa Bay is playing NY. So King David and Spectacular Pool. Your team is going up against what is his name? Oh goodness. Jay Thomas. I can't believe I forgot his name. Jay Thomas, he's rooting for Tampa Bay. Yeah, he hasn't been here today. I'm surprised. You're going up against his team, and my team is going up against Quayface's team. St. Louis going up against Dallas.
Well, I can't say I hope that game ends in a tie because there's no ties in the XFL.
There's no ties in the XFL.
A winner will be determined.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that St. Louis pulls that out against Dallas. Dallas is the favorite from what I heard. Dallas is the favorite to win it all against in the first season. So this is going to be interesting. It's kind of also interesting that they have Fox, ABC, and ESPN FS1, FS2.
Mm-hmm.
They got some pretty good pull with some of these networks because the AAF had problems pulling networks, and they were actually, partnership with the NFL. I'm actually surprised at that.
I'm not, because Vince McMahon already has a partnership with Fox with the wrestling.
Well, that is true. You're absolutely right.
That kind of hooks in, so it was easy breezy from there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so I'm definitely looking at, let's see, week, because that's when we run into Dallas. They have to come up. They have to come up here. Week 6, Dallas has to come up here. So good. That's gonna be funny. I would like to go to a game because I've been to one other game that wasn't an NFL game, that wasn't a college game, that was a CFL game. I forgot Baltimore was playing somebody and they got beat, but they were playing some nice Michael Jackson music. But CFL action live is actually very exciting to watch.
Okay. I know this is a little off topic a little bit, but I'm gonna put this up real quick. So, Tadal, you live in Cali, but you're from Macon, Georgia. That's interesting because see, I'm from Savannah, so we was like we were all about 2 hours apart from each other. I went to school in Statesboro, which is pretty much almost halfway, unless if you want to say Dublin is halfway. So that's interesting. You're from Macon, Georgia. Hey, I got a pretty good basketball team down there in college. I mean, Macon has a pretty good college basketball team down there. It's a medical school too, and they play basketball. That's pretty interesting. Let's see. Spectacular Pooh said he's picking the Guardians because of the logo. King David said that as well. He liked the logo, the gargoyle theme. He also said that Vince is throwing money into this. Yeah, and you know what? Rightfully so. He threw money into it the last time. The problem was with the XFL wasn't bad football. It was just the fact that they threw too much stuff into the football. I mean, because you had players there that was actually pretty good, and some of them ended up having pretty good NFL careers after the XFL. So it wasn't the talent. It wasn't the actual. Well, some of the rules are kind of asinine though.
They also threw they mixed the wrestling in, and that's when it started going downhill because The Rock introduced. What was The Rock that introduced the first game, and he whatever, and then they started throwing some other stuff into it, and it was just like, you know what? Nah,
it's a little. It was too much over the top.
Gimmicky.
Yeah, it was too much over the top. I think this right here. I think Vince is actually trying to. I mean, he said it when they first started talking about it. He said, "Look, we're going to give you guys traditional football, but we're going to give you, a little twist on things." And so far, I actually like some of the rules. They're not crazy or over the top, nothing crazy. And that's another thing we forgot. We said we're going to talk about the replay. We're going to do that on Thursday. We'll talk about that on Thursday. But I like the fact that they have their rules in place that are actually going to be just different. I think we're getting traditional football when, but it's just going to be different. And I think that's okay.
It's funny because I think it's going to start off just like, the AFL did. Not the AEF. Yeah, AEF started. That first big hit was just like, oh, here we go.
I think that got a lot of people's attention. Because once that hit went viral on Twitter, you started seeing people from ESPN, like commentators from ESPN. You had Shannon Sharp said, "Hold up, they hitting like that over there." Now, I remember him tweeting that out. He was like, "Oh, they hitting like that," and all of a sudden,
the thing was, it was a hit on the quarterback with no flag, so it's just like, yes, here we go.
Right. I mean, the helmet went one way, the football went another way, and like that caught people's attention. Like, okay. They're going to actually be playing football. And it was still a little rust. I think after week 3, you started getting some really good football, and then, the bottom fell because people ran off with the money. Because, I mean, I think they had the potential to be some pretty good football, a pretty good football league, but, they did an IMV gaming on them. So.
Oh, damn.
Okay, Tadal said he moved out there when he was very young. Okay, so he doesn't have too many memories of Macon, Georgia. Macon, Georgia. I don't have too many memories of it either. We usually pass through there when we was going to Atlanta, but nevertheless. When you look at the schedule, I'm primarily just focused on week 1. I guess we can take the time to actually look at the rosters throughout the next couple of days and actually make a few picks on Thursday. And I think Thursday's a pretty good spot because they don't have any Thursday night football or anything like that.
Shit, thank God.
Well, I'll take that back. Week 10, they're going to be doing Thursday night football. Week 9, they're starting it actually.
Now, I wonder how they would do that. Would they pick the teams that played on Saturday instead of Sunday? Because it would only be right. Like, pick the team that played. Let me.
I see what you're saying. Like, whoever played Sunday should not play on Thursday. I got you.
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, that's not true because when they started week 9, It's
you look at week
the
9. Look at Dallas,
yeah.
and look
Dallas
at
is
Houston.
playing and Houston is playing. They're both playing on Sunday, so throw that out the window.
Right, and then you
So
look
that's
at
gonna be a rough game.
week 10. You got
No pun
L.A.
intended.
And then you look at week 10. Look at week 9. L.A.'s playing Seattle,
Oh
and then they
God,
got to go to Dallas on week 10. So yeah, that's kind
damn.
of
Well, they already putting the screws to Dallas.
right, right.
Well, not really. That week, Dallas will be playing on Thursday, and then they play again on Thursday. So Dallas actually gets a whole
Yeah,
week off,
they get a pretty good extended week. Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
that's
So
just going into the yeah. They are setting this team up to win the. Yeah, they're gonna give them that.
yeah, so we like I said, tomorrow and Thursday we're gonna focus on what rosters they have, and I guess we'll make a pick. I mean, obviously, I'm picking St. Louis to beat your team on Sunday.
Mm.
I'm already picking that, regardless of what they pick. But I'm gonna look at Tampa Bay and LA, and then New York and Dallas, and the Seattle and Houston. I'm gonna try to get some educated picks, and then we'll just start. We'll tally up a record, and we'll make it count. Unfortunately, hopefully, Bills will be here, but I'm not sure. Nevertheless, we'll stick with it. So before we go, we can do a quick Q&A, and also I have a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you think the XFL will succeed their first year? I'm giving it a 7, maybe 8. What about you, DJ?
I'll keep it at a 7.
Yeah,
I think
I don't think it's going to bomb and be like a 3 or anything. I think 7 is fair. So anybody in the chat, give us a scale of 1 to 10 how well you think they're going to do, and also put your questions in the chat if you want to as well. So
I'll tell you this much for the DC team, I won't be listening to the local radio broadcast team. It consists of 106.7, the Clan. So I'm not going to listen to that radio broadcast anytime soon.
What?
Their actual real name is the 106.7, the fan, or 107, whatever it is. People make fun of them because they always like go after the black quarterbacks that we've had.
Oh, I thought there was actually KLAN. I was about to say what?
Well, yeah, we've been, a lot of us have been going after them, calling them the Clan, because they always take shots at, like, they took shots at Robert Griffin. They taking shots at Dwayne Haskins. So they earned that one because they had the kitty gloves for Kirk Cousins. I'm trying to figure out some other quarterbacks.
I got some ratings in the chat we're gonna hit too.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. No, that was it.
All right, King David, I'm gonna say put his chat out here first. He said Mike Burkovi got murdered and the AF still failed. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna sound ignorant. I don't know who Mike Burkovi is, but
that was the quarterback that got hit in the first game.
Oh, he got that kind of murdered. Okay.
Yeah, he got murdered, and the AAF got robbed.
Hey, King David, he got hit like Bedex be hitting people on NCAA 08. Optimus Goop says a 6. I think that is that's fair. Tadals also says 6 or a 7. It look like everybody is King David says 7. Quayface says 7. I think everybody's like being a little, they're giving a little positive vibes, but they're not going over the top.
Which is good. You want to go in with tempered expectations for this league because you don't know how long it's going to last.
Right, and it sucks because it seems like they got everything together, but you see what happened with the AAF and you see what happened with the XFL beforehand. It kind of tempers your expectations because even when the AAF started, I had very high expectations for it. I admit I thought it was going to be, especially when I started seeing certain players who was actually in it. I was like, okay, this could be a pretty good league, and it started to catch legs like after week 3 or week 4, like what I thought it was going to be, but it was like, you see what happened. Spectacular Pooh actually says an 8. Okay, he says 8. It's interesting. I think anything between 6 or 8 is actually, 8 is a little generous, but I think anywhere around 6 or 8 is more realistic. I think that's fair. I mean, like I said, and I know some people was out here really saying that they're not going to watch or whatever. Stop lying. I understand people have like their little fit about what happened with the XFL before, but I'm telling you, if a few good things happen, and it don't have to be a lot, like we said with the AF, that one hit That one hit got a whole bunch of people wanting to watch
You
in
know,
the AF.
you know what that
So
remind me of? All the
what's
people
that?
that said they were going to protest the NFL because of what they were doing to Colin Kaepernick, but
Right,
chose to watch the NFL anyway.
right,
It's
exactly.
gonna be just like that.
I'm telling you, all it takes is a few good plays, and you see some good football playing. Hell, even if you start seeing bad football, they're going to go there just so they can clown. So you're going to watch it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Because people tried it. They tried to clown the AAF, and I understand it. A lot of and it wasn't necessarily bad football because the talent wasn't there. A lot of those guys showed off their talent at the end, but in the front end of it, we can all me and DJ play football. We're not like football aficionados or anything. We're not like experts, but we can obviously see guys who didn't practice a lot, who didn't get everything down pat before the season started. A lot of those guys just went out there after maybe 2.5 weeks of practice, and it showed.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was a lot of rust. It wasn't like a lot of guys were like just bad. A lot of drop passes, missed routes. I mean, it happens, and I mean, it might happen it might even happen with this the first week.
Yeah, because the one thing that they haven't been showing off is some of the they have been, but only in clips of the other scrimmages that they've been having with each other. So they've already been scrimmaging, but everyone knows, everyone who plays football understands is the game speed difference between scrimmages. That's control versus actual game, official game. So
I want to make a retraction. I know I said that me and you play each other, your team versus my team in week 1, but I had the thing scrolled down. I thought week 5 was week 1. I take that back. But I did say it before then. I did say St. Louis was playing Dallas. So me and Quayface is going against each other. So I'll see you on week 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to retract that. Who made a good point? Questions, people. If you got any questions, put them in the chat. It's going to take a good return for it to happen, like a kick return. Those kick return rules could get people watching to be on. You know what? That's a great point, because the way the kick return rules are that, the defense is actually in the territory of the receiving team. Mm-hmm. So if somebody do break a touchdown off of that, that could be actually pretty exciting. So yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Or let's say if one game did go into overtime in week 1. That could be another thing.
I wonder which game would it be? Because
not only that, you know what, DJ?
Mm-hmm.
Something as simple as a replay challenge could get people.
Because people are going to be able to listen in. They're going to see what the referees are going to be are talking about. They're going to see and hear what the referees are going to be talking about. And
that's what happened with remember when the AAF did the same thing? Mm-hmm. When they had their first challenge, a lot of people was like, wait a minute, they're doing it like this? And all of a sudden, people watch the rest of the game because of that. Because it's just something that small could change people's opinion. Because, listen, the United States of America and some parts of Canada, no shade to them, we love football. And if it's on TV and if it's decent football, we're going to watch. You're not going to be that guy with your arms folded in front of your computer or in front of your TV talking about, I ain't watching that shit because of the XFL, while everybody else on Twitter talking about it. You're not going to be that guy. No, you're not going to be that stubborn. I don't buy it. No questions? Nobody got any questions? Yay, nay, none? DJ, you got anything?
I really don't have much. I'm probably going to tune into this damn, I forgot what it's called. State of the Union.
Oh yeah, that comes on at 9, don't it?
Yeah.
I might watch it too. I'm not.
I just want to see how much I'm gonna laugh to it. That's all. I
mean, listen. I'm not heavy into politics, but I do follow it because I don't want to be the ignorant guy that don't know shit when shit hits the fan. I've always wanted to be that guy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that dumbass guy like, wait, they did what? No, I always keep an ear to what's going on, and I just keep it in the back of my mind as I live my life. So, but this one, for some reason, with all the stuff that's been going on, I think I'm going to tune into it because it's kind of dry on TV anyway, so it won't hurt. So, I think I'm going to do that. Another thing, speaking of politics, I know a lot of people don't talk about, stuff like this. And
the watch numbers just dropped because we.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of way left, but seriously, it's been a rough 2020, honestly, and I'm gonna keep this really short. You had the situation with Kobe Bryant, Chris Dolman, the linebacker. I mean, the defensive guy from
defensive end.
the defensive end from the Vikings. He passed away, and I know the next person I'm talking about has nothing to do with sports, and he didn't pass or anything. But a lot of people may not look at that. We already lost a viewer that quick.
That's what I'm
Um,
saying.
I don't know if anybody knows, but Rush Limbaugh was diagnosed with lung cancer, and I don't really listen to him like that, but I consider him one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like I like talking behind the microphone because when I was interested in talk radio or when I was interested in doing something like that, it wasn't even called podcast. This is when I was doing the discussions and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, I had this passion way before Twitter or even before YouTube. I wanted to do this way back in the late 90s or whatever. But when I learned about talk radio, I always tried to figure out who did this stuff the best and who did it really well. Say what you want about his politics and things that he say, but he's brilliant behind the microphone. And it sucks, for anybody to have that type of diagnosis landed on them, and it sucks. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm pulling and praying for him because I don't know him like that.
Hmm.
But when you have people, you know, take joy in stuff like that because you have a difference of opinion, it's just disgusting. I'm sorry. I don't listen to Rush like that. I have listened to him before, and I don't know everything about him. People saying he's racist and all this other stuff, and he says stuff in code. I mean, I know the things when I listen to certain topics when it comes to politics. And remember, I keep my ear to politics, and I not only I listen to NPR, I listen to the other side of talk radio when it comes to the different types of political stuff. But it's not one time I don't know, you know, it's not one time I actually said that he was off his rocker when certain things he said. He's a brilliant man when it comes to conservatism. And a lot of us live a conservative life and don't even know it because some people don't take the time to figure out what it is. But I maybe listened to him maybe 10, maybe 20 times since I've heard of him back in, I've really known about him in 2003. And the times I listened to him were like when there was like big topics going on in politics, and I noticed he has a brilliant mind. He's a smart guy and he's very talented at what he does when he commentates on things, and it's one of the reasons why I like doing what I do because I want to emulate the style because you don't get 28, 30 million viewers or listeners to your radio show because you're dummy and you don't know what you're talking about. You may disagree. He may say things that hurt certain ethnic groups and this, that, and the third, but he knows what he's doing. And I want to emulate that because I want to have those type of listeners on this podcast. I want not those type of listeners, but those type of numbers. So it sucks that he has lung cancer. It sucks that anybody has it, just
Mm.
not only just with him, the Kobe Bryant situation, Chris Dolman, um, not only with other people that goes through stuff. Life is short, man. Kiss your family members. Call your friends that you have problems with. There's a few people. I'm gonna tell you right now. Starting tomorrow, there's some people on Twitter that I'm gonna tweet to that I haven't tweeted in a long time, and just say, you know what? I appreciate them for giving me this platform to do what I do. Because that's another thing. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have this channel. Virtual Footballer would never, came about. This podcast wouldn't have started. I wouldn't have met people like DJ, Bills, all you guys that are in the chat. I wouldn't have known anything about you if it wasn't for certain people, you know, that do what we do. You know, if I like them or if it's indifferent, either way. Cause life is short, man. We just got to think about stuff like that. And when I heard about what happened to Rush, I was like, you know what? That Kobe, Chris Dolman, other people that are sick, that just passed away. Life's short, man. I'm gonna bury the hatchet with a good bit of people. So I mean, it's just that's what I'm taking from it. Just bury the hatchet and take care and watch over the people that are around because you never know, they might not be here the next day.
Mm.
So it's just you know I don't care about the politics side of it. That's a human being at the end of the day. You don't want to hear anybody do that, regardless if you disagree with them or not. DJ, you got anything?
Uh, I'm like, I would say thank you guys for joining in tonight. I know it's been a two-man show for the past few episodes. Hopefully, when Bills returns from his, because I can tell you right out the back, this podcast was made for three,
Yeah,
and
it's built for three. It is.
us as a trio
It really is.
definitely make things happen. So it's, I'm not gonna say it's been not, I'm not gonna say it's been rough, but at the same time, it's like you have to. It's not even next man up. It's just like me and VF are taking up arms, just taking up most of the slack,
Yeah,
keeping
we
this
hold it
going.
down definitely.
So I'm like, we definitely appreciate everybody that has stayed tuned in, because y'all could. I'm like, no lie, Bills is like the liveliest one
He really
out of
is.
all of us.
He really is.
So he pretty much drives it home. So I definitely appreciate, when he's here, and and also for the fact that it's forced me to be more talkative. Because I know when VF and Bills go at it, I'm sitting back like, when am I gonna chime in? And now it's just like, damn, I wish he would chime
Right,
in.
right.
So
I'm gonna try to get in touch with him, see where his head at, and try to get him in at the, if anything, maybe next Tuesday. I don't know, because Thursday might be too soon. We'll see.
mhm.
But I'll give him a shout out. But no, definitely, you guys. At the end of the day, this is a 3-man show, and you guys make it go from this coming through live at a weird time of the evening. We
Mhm.
really appreciate it. Joining us on Discord to talk to us on Discord, following us on Twitter,
Wait a
bringing
minute,
your.
but I do got something to say about the Discord this past Sunday. Why was everybody being so quiet? I put it out there. I was like, hey, we're gonna have a voice chat for the Super Bowl. Ain't nobody respond.
Hey man, you did.
What's
You know
up?
what? You did that a little bit too late. Honestly,
I noticed, but
we could have broadcast that
still.
on the Thursday show if we had the idea together. But yeah, um, King David said, "Reminder is never okay to wish ill will on." So I totally
That
agree.
is true.
I don't care. Like, even with and he wasn't even sick. And I know it rubs people the wrong way, and people gonna look at me crazy. Even when Don Imus said his thing about the women, the Rutgers basketball team, like called them nappy headed hoes. Like, my thing is, regardless, it's like I don't want to see nobody get sick or die because of their words. That's totally against what this country's about. You should be able to say what you want to say. Now, trust me, there's repercussions for saying what you want to say,
Hmm.
but I don't wish nobody, death because they said something about a certain race or something like that. I mean, that's just crazy.
And
Now,
the
if you
thing
do something, it's different, but saying it is totally different.
And the thing is, it's not just one side that does these things. I'm like, everybody on the left accuses the right of doing these things.
And it's
Everybody on the
vice
right
versa.
accuses the left.
It's vice
It's
versa. It really
it's
is.
it's just two extremes that do these things on either side, and it needs to be cut out.
It
Period.
does. It really does. I agree. Quayface, thank you very much. He said these shows have been great with just a 2-man show. I really, really appreciate it. Quayface have been around even with the live streams. I think he was there when we did Guns Going Cannoli 2. That was a great stream. I highly recommend go back and watch. That was a great stream. I need to do another one of that fashion. Um, uh, like I said, seriously, man, you guys, even though a lot of people, you have some people that try to clown us because we only have 7, 8, 10, 15 people in listening to us. Like I said, this is not an ideal time to do a podcast. I feel like if I do a podcast at this time, I feel like only the real people who really interested is going to come through, and to me that matters, and I want that to expand. I don't want the trolls and all this other. I mean, it's great for them to come, but I don't want them to be. I want people to be who really wants to be here and interact,
Hmm.
and you guys do that, and we really appreciate it. I'm on the back end. People are downloading on Google Play. They're good downloading on iTunes. So we're getting it from both sides. We're just looking now. We're going to get into the sponsorship side where we're going to try to reach out for sponsorships to actually see if we can get some kickback off of doing this. So, but it all begins with you guys, word of mouth, letting people know what we do here. If they can't catch us live, I have no problem, getting the downloads on iTunes. and on Google Play. More downloads. The more people subscribe, the better. It gives us more notoriety on those platforms, so it really helps. So I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. You got anything else, DJ? We're gonna go to close out and turn around and do Thursday because the State of the Union. We're gonna
Right.
listen to the Joker talk.
Well, all I gotta say is just be on the lookout. At some point this week, like I said, I just started back up working again, so I am going to be inundated with coming home and having to put some energy into uploading these next two episodes of State of Decay 2. So I got episode 3 and 4 coming this week.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to run through the next two games of my NC State dynasty. Um, and I'm going to try to get the A. I think I'm gonna make the ACC championship game. If I make the ACC championship game, I'm going to live stream that on Twitch.
Makes
So
sense?
we'll get a chance to actually see some more football over there. Like I said, I wanna upload them to YouTube, but I think the ACC championship game is going to be a big game, so I'll probably put that on Twitch so we can watch that.
Oh,
And
another thing, because I just recently got Jedi Fallen Order. I know I'm late to the game on that, but yeah, I love that game.
yeah, yeah,
That
it's a phenomenal game. It
yeah, I
really
love that
is.
game. I'll probably post some clips on some of the battles because.
Yeah, EA did something right for a change.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna do that if I make it to the ACC championship game. I'll probably be live streaming that on Saturday, and prior to that, maybe Friday. Depends on how things goes on Friday. I may just stream something else, but definitely, if I make the ACC championship game, NC State will be in the ACC. If they make it to the ACC championship game, I will live stream that. So, other than that, we're good. I do have another video I may put up. I may put that up tomorrow. Just depends if I'm not too busy, because I haven't really rendered it yet. It's done. I just haven't rendered it. So, but we will see you guys Thursday. Once again, Google Play, iTunes, SoundCloud. Check us out. All that other stuff. And we will definitely see you guys Thursday. We'll talk some XFL and whatever other gaming news come about. So we appreciate y'all. Definitely see y'all guys on Thursday. Peace.
Peace out. Remember, DC Defenders. Let's go.
Now we're going with St. Louis, bro.
Nah, DC. Fuck Dallas.